The Lord be with you. I'm Deacon Keith Fournier, and our first reading is from the book of Genesis. The length of Sarah's life was 127 years. She died at Kiriath-Arba, now Hebron, in the land of Canaan, and Abraham proceeded to mourn and bewail her. Then rising from beside his dead, Abraham spoke to the Hittites. "I am a stranger resident here," he said. "Let me have a burial site of my own here, so that I can remove my dead for burial." And after this, Abraham buried his wife Sarah in the cave of the field of Machpelah, facing Mamre, now Hebron, in the land of Canaan. By now, Abraham was an old man, well on in years, and Yahweh had blessed Abraham in every way. Abraham said to the senior servant in his household, the steward of all his property, "Place your hand under my thigh. I'm going to make you swear by Yahweh, God of heaven and God of earth, that you will not choose a wife for my son from the daughters of the Canaanites among whom I live, but will go to my native land and my own kinsfolk to choose a wife for my son Isaac." The servant asked him, "What if the girl does not want to follow me to this country? Should I then take your son back to the country from which you come?" Abraham replied, "On no account are you to take my son back there. Yahweh, God of heaven, God of earth, who took me from my father's home and from the land of my kinsfolk, and who promised me on oath, 'I shall give this country to your descendants,' he will now send his angel ahead of you, so that you can get a wife for my son from there. If then the girl refuses to follow you, you will be quit of this oath to me. Only do not take my son back there." Isaac, meanwhile, had come back from the well of Lahai-Roi and was living in the Negev. When Isaac was out walking towards evening in the fields, he looked up and saw camels approaching. And Rebekah looked up and saw Isaac. She jumped down from her camel and asked the servant, "Who is that man walking through the fields toward us?" The servant replied, "That is my master." So she took her veil and covered herself up. The servant told Isaac the whole story. Then Isaac took her into his tent. He married Rebekah and made her his wife, and in his love for her, Isaac was consoled for the loss of his mother. And our response from Psalm 106. Alleluia. Give thanks to Yahweh, for he is good. His faithful love is everlasting. Who can recount all Yahweh's triumphs? Who can fully voice his praise? How blessed are those who keep to what is just, whose conduct is always upright. Remember me, Yahweh, in your love for your people. Come near to me with your saving power. Let me share the happiness of your chosen ones. Let me share the joy of your people, the pride of your heritage. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to St. Matthew. As Jesus was walking on from there, he saw a man named Matthew sitting at the tax office. And he said to him, "Follow me." And he got up and followed him. Now, while he was at table in the house, it happened that a number of tax collectors and sinners came to sit at the table with Jesus and his disciples. When the Pharisees saw this, they said to his disciples, "Why does your master eat with tax collectors and sinners?" When he heard this, he replied, "It is not the healthy who need the doctor, but the sick. Go and learn the meaning of the words, 'Mercy is what pleases me, not sacrifice.' And indeed, I came to call not the upright, but sinners." The Gospel of the Lord.